Today we're going to talk about white privilege. White privilege is often described as having greater access to power and resources than people of color in the same situation do. Whether or not this is always true is not what is important. What's important is for white people to recognize their privilege and these three distinct powers related to their privilege. The first is the power of normal. This often shows up in subtle ways, yet is a sign of division between races. For example, flesh-colored Band-Aids only match the color of white people. Another example is that heroes in media are often portrayed as white. A white person can expect their needs to be met and to be considered normal. Contrary to this, people of color are often marginalized. Recognizing this uncovers a gap. The second power is the power of the benefit of the doubt. Part of this is that people of color are often seen as more suspicious. A black person may be followed around a store, but a white person may not. Also, a white person may be treated more fairly by law enforcement than a black person, since that officer may give them the benefit of the doubt. Lastly, there is the power of accumulated power. This says that through political representation, wealth, family opportunities, geographic location, etc., white people may have more power overall than black people. Now, let's transition to Scripture. Psalm 139:14 says, "I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made." Additionally, Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose." White people do not need to apologize for being white, but instead need to use the way that God made them for God's good. This means using the power to care for God's people and to spread the good news of Jesus Christ. And remember, God made you the way you are for a reason.